the call, and we'll be sure and happy. We'll be more than happy.
More than happy. More surely. Surely more. Surely more than happy.
All right, we're gonna wrap it up. You have the dream.
We have the address.
We'll see you soon.
So, surely happy.
Surely was. I was just like that. Yeah, we're gonna get talking all that trash.
Poetic justice. Uh-huh.
All right, let's see. Question of the day. So, hi guys, it's Crystal here with the Age 18.
Who am I?
It's Alan Johnson,
Alan
the great
Johnson.
over here with the Age
She's
18. Gotta hype him up. It's Friday. So, that being said, we have a real estate question of the day, and today's question came actually from one of our potential sellers. They're going to be putting their house on the market, and they wanted to know if I can't get what I want for my home, should I consider renting it versus selling it?
Should I consider renting it versus selling? Okay. So that's such a loaded question, right?
So it's always it depends at this point.
So it really depends on like a couple things. Like, are you just like holding it because you want to get something, or you think you're going to get more?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
There's a different conversation. That's a completely different conversation. Or you can't afford to sell it.
Yeah.
Right. So some people, they can afford to sell it. They just don't want to sell it for the price that the market is giving them. And they're hedging that the market's going to be better somewhere down the line.
Yeah.
Right. And some people are like, oh, I want to get this number. And if I don't get it, like it's a pride thing. Right.
Yeah.
And pride in real estate always works out like in a situation where it's not good.
Oil and water. They'll mix.
Right.
Do not mix.
So, when we're thinking, I'll tell you about like what we think about when we're thinking about selling or renting, because we go through this conversation with ourselves all the time, right?
Yeah.
So, is this a short-term solution or a long-term solution? Is this just a short-term so you can get to next year, right? And are you completely sure that next year is going to be a better market?
Yeah.
Right? Are you completely sure that you're going to be in a better financial situation to be able to sell at that point? Are you completely sure that you're going to have that the market is going to support what you're looking to do?
Yeah.
Right. Or is this a long-term thing? Like, I'm just going to wait for a whole nother market cycle.
Yeah.
Right. And that's what some people are kind of like having to like have, come to grips with, is like, they're like, I'm gonna wait. Like, okay, you're going to wait a whole nother market cycle.
Yeah.
It's another 5 years or 6 years before you're going to get what you think you want to get.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep. Yep. I think that's a good point. I think the other thing that you have to consider is what's the tax implications, right? So, for the most part, if you sell your home and you lived in it as your primary residence for the last 2 out of 5 most recent years, then you have the tax benefit of not having to pay capital gains on the equity that you have grown in your home. If you're single, that's up to $250,000. If you're married, it's $500,000. Well, if you take that property and you turn it into a rental asset, now you no longer have the ability to get that capital gains tax without having to pay the capital gains tax, right? You don't want to turn it into a rental. So you have to really think about that, right? So if you know you have a lot of equity in your home, there's potential for you to be taxed at a very high rate because of those gains you have. If you turn it into a rental, you should definitely be considering that.
Yeah. Yeah. The other thing is like cash flow. So some people are like, well, I'll be able to cash flow my property. And there's some people that don't, like, they rent it, they won't make cash flow. So the difference between what their mortgage is plus any condo or HOA fees versus what they'll get in rent, if they end up hiring a property manager, like, they're not going to cash flow. So if you're hoping to get an extra 20,000, but you're paying $500 a month for someone to live in your property, like, that's just not a smart financial decision. Right. So like, you got to make sure that the asset is a net positive when it comes to your financials.
Yeah.
And then the other thing, like, there were some people that we helped, I think about a year ago, and they had they weren't going to get as much as they wanted, but they had about like 100,000 in equity.
Yeah.
And they started to get with the financial planner, and the financial planner was like, look, you got high interest debt. So what you think you're going to save in renting it out or is getting eaten up by the fact that you could just take this 100,000 and pay off this high interest debt, and that's better than you owning an investment property.
Yeah.
Right. So just kind of think about like how all the cash flows, not just like, oh, I want to make up $20,000 more. You got to like think like much deeper into that if you want to start making good financial real estate decisions.
Yeah, and there's so many considerations. I think this list could go on forever. But let me ask you this question, Alan.
Mhm.
In what scenario would it make sense for someone to rent versus buy?
If this was going to be a long term hold, like it was a long term, like I see this being a really good investment property. I don't need the liquidity from this property.
Yeah.
I could just let this property just sit and, I'm gonna ride this thing out for, 5, 7+ years.
Yeah.
Right. Someone who might be moving back into the area.
Yeah.
So there was a case where a client was in Lake Ridge
Mm-hmm.
and, they didn't think they were going to come back to this area, but life changed and they're like, oh, we're going to leave the country and we're likely to come back in 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
And, we would like to stay back in this house again. We like this neighborhood. That's someone who should think about, like, if we don't get a number, like we likely are going to move back to this.
Yeah. Yeah. That's good. All right, guys. So if you have more questions, if your scenario is a little bit different,
Mhm.
a little bit more unique, and you want to unpack it a little bit more, give us a call, reach out. We're more than happy to talk to you about it a little bit more. Okay.
Yeah, there are a couple other things I
Oh,
think
I'm
we'll talk
sorry.
about, right? No, it's cool. Are you ready to be a landlord?
Yeah.
And are you going to have it managed yourself? Right.
Yeah.
That's another question. Can you afford to rent? Right. So people only look at how much cash you're going to make, but they don't realize that tenants tend to live in properties harder
Oh,
than homeowners.
don't we know it?
Every day, like people are breaking things that we never like broke when we lived in the property.
Yeah.
Right. Or things that we don't break in our own property.
Yeah.
Like we had a guy who broke what did he break? He broke
The back of the toilet,
broke back of the toilet,
like the actual tank.
the tank. He broke the dude in the shower that broke
Oh, the actual tub.
broke a tub.
The tub broke. Like the floor of the tub basically caved in.
I like, how do you do
I
that?
don't know how that happens.
Like, and we built the house. Like we know the quality of the construction, right? None of the other ones broke
No.
except his, right? So it's just these things that pop up. Can you afford it? Is it a smart long-term rental property?
Yeah.
Right. So is it a condo, townhouse, or single family? I wrote about it in the book. Like single families are not good investment properties.
Yeah.
Long-term investment properties. Sell those. Condos tend not to be great long-term investment properties because condo fees are tending to go up now, right? Especially when the market pulls back, condos have more and more pressure on pricing and on maintenance fees, right? And then last but not least, it, is this what you want, or this is something that's a smart financial decision?
Yeah.
Like, is it something that you just feel like you want to get to a price, or is this a really smart financial decision? And oftentimes the smart financial decisions are the hard decisions.
Yeah.
Right. So if it feels hard, if you're like, oh man, I don't want to do this, but it may be what you need.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, you need to be having a conversation with someone who's been down that road before. And that's why we're here for.
That's right. So again, if you have any questions, if you need us to unpack this a little bit further, just give us a ring, shoot us a DM, send us a message, and we're more than happy to have that conversation with you.
Yep. You have a dream.
We have the address.
We'll see you soon.
See ya. 2 wrap-ups.
Mhm.
Why do we put